Yeah,
I don't like the term capitalism too much because it's a bit loaded. Personally, I think it is unfairly negatively loaded, because if you think about what the alternative is, socialism, then I prefer capitalism over socialism. But the better term for capitalism, to my mind, is the market economy model. And I personally would even prefer the social market economy model, which is kind of the buzzword the Germans love in particular.
In a way, it's the debate is a bit of a misnomer, because it's not capitalism or socialism, because every economy in the world is a mixed economy. Even societies that are socialist are essentially mixed economies. We have aspects of our economies which are basically based on state provision, and we think that the state has an important role to play in regulating certain markets, in providing rules and standards.
I would define it as government by the market, its major goal being something called growth and something called and profit seeking, essentially. So for me, that's what capitalism is. And I'm not against capitalism, and capitalism hasn't always been a malevolent force. The real problem at the moment with capitalism is that it's highly financialized. It's rentier capitalism now, essentially. And that, for me, is not old-fashioned capitalism.
If you really want to think about capitalism as a system, you really need to go back to Karl Marx. You don't have to call yourself a Marxist, but if you want to think about the questions like the ones that you've posed, you really have to take Marx very seriously, because in some sense, his work was the fount of many of the ways that people are thinking about capitalism.
Economics is part of the larger set of social phenomena that kind of grow out of generalization of capitalism as a way of organizing human life and productive activity. So in that sense, you can't really use the tools of economics to explain capitalism, because economics is kind of within capitalism. The categories of economics are really specific to capitalism.
I think there are economists, political economists, that have explained capitalism very well and continue to explain it very well. Does mainstream economics explain capitalism? Well, no, because it takes it for granted as the obvious architecture. It's like mainstream economics is within that gilded cage. And it's gilded for the economists of capitalism, in which it's taking all of those assumptions as laws written in stone, that production must inevitably be for profit, that individuals operate only in terms of increasing their material self-interest.
Capitalism is considered as an economic system anchored in ownership and control, free market economy. Let's start from the start. Self-interest that would lead to the best interest of the society. So the capitalism basic objective also is to make profit, which is a monetary value that serves to continue the process of accumulation of capital. According to this thinking, it is the rational self-interest that can lead to economic prosperity. And this is okay. I mean, it has managed to do such a thing, but then with certain excesses and of course, leading to many other aspects.
And I thought capitalism will sustain individual freedom, but we don't know if income disparity is so acute to affect people. They may give grounds to create undemocratic or even neo-Nazi system. Marx wanted to explain capitalism, but economics is interested in goods and welfare. It doesn't explain political, ideological system.
Let me give an example about the case of the several countries in East Asia. I still think that it is capitalism, where capital accumulation play an important factor, but there is a hybrid between private ownership here and also the role of state through the state-owned enterprise. In the case of China, for example, we can also see how the government play a role in some East Asian countries like in Japan or Korea. Self-interest motive is still there, but there is a lot of variation of it, in which that the role of the government is, becoming also important.
How do you bring a city from a fishing village into a world superpower in manufacturing technology within such a short a period of time? If you actually just waited capitalism to build on its own, markets to slowly build, financial markets to mature, this will take a long time. It took the West 100 years or more to build that. China, it did it in a third of that time.